This is PBS, the Public Broadcasting Service.
This is PBS. This is PBS.
This is PBS.
Alright, today I wanted to do a video on a project that I have essentially, it's been in the works for a while. If you don't remember my videos where I was collecting photographs of the after-school specials or other particular subject matter, we'll just delve into this very, very quickly because this could be a very long video. But here is a picture from my PBS binder here, and I found a lot on eBay. There was about 40 or 50 lots that had been for sale within the last week or two, and there was a crazy ton of photographs. I couldn't tell because every time you thought that you were going to win, you didn't. And then people were getting bid this way and that way. Sometimes it's like, hey, a lot of, something ridiculous like 60 or 70 photographs only went for $12 plus shipping. So you thought they were all going to go for $12, but no, crazy. And then you had to just pick one and just be in it to win it. And so I ended up spending $40 and $42 or $43 total on this, including the shipping, so it was $30+. And other people paid, their 10 more, and it was just crazy. You just had no idea, and it would be like, $6 towards like the very last minute or two, and then shooting up, and then I ended up, boosting other people's prices up, but I think somebody else did that for them as well. But it came in this big eBay do not bend thing here. I think it was Ground Advantage or something like that, I'm not sure. But whatever. Big fat package. We hope nothing is damaged. We hope virtually nothing is damaged, so we will do the best we can to open it. Probably opening it from the bottom is easiest because of the tape there, and that worked really well. So, this is what came in here. See if there's any extra papers or receipts in here. There is a piece of cardboard in here with my name and some sort of date stamped on there. I'm not exactly sure what that's all about, but anyway, just stuff there. So yeah, there we go. And there is the empty envelope from what I can see. Nothing in there. And I got a crazy bag of photos. Now, the reason why I call them PBS is because that's how they listed. But also, hopefully I got the right ones. Hopefully they didn't ship me the wrong one. But also, the thing about this is that there are other photographs in the lot here. So we'll go through all of these here. I would have liked to win different lot, and again, I just don't know. Because the pictures were okay, but let's just see what we have here. So we'll start off with the first one here. This is Irene Worth. Now, I don't know what this is, but we'll just go through these very, very quickly. Flannery O'Connor. It'll be on SCETV, so that's probably South Carolina Educational Television. Some of these, we will not know who they are, so if you know who they are, let me know. This one here is the Tribal Eye. It is from something or other. I don't know what this is. The Tribal Eye. Please check your PBS station for local telecast time. So these were listed as 80s and 90s, but I can tell you from what I'm seeing is there's a lot of 70s photographs in there. And there is the Tribal Eye, so whatever that is. So these will go in my binder. Again, we've got crazy amount to go through here. I'm probably already run out of time. I don't know what this ITVS or something, I don't know what this is. ITVS, Community Clockwise, Positive Life. Then we've got a picture of John Lithgow. Don't know anything about it, but it says Redwood Curtain, Hallmark Hall of Fame. So some of these pictures that are not related to anything, I may not keep these. There's probably some more Hallmark Hall of Fame ones because, yeah, this is Journey, and they're just like a purple toned photograph. So I don't know if they started out like that way, but we'll skip past some of these. That's probably Jason Robards, I'm guessing. Again, the glare is going to be absolutely stupid on here. I had to put a different background on here. Another Journey photograph here. We're not even anywhere close to done. I don't know what this is, but something on nature, so they're filming Easter Island on nature. We'll maybe do a better video when I have them in the binder here. I don't know, these are some of the kids from Breakfast Club maybe? I'm not sure what that is here. No idea what that is. Again, this is Entertainment Tonight. Emilio Estevez, Kathy Bates, and Kelly McGillis. Okay. Then we've got Mark of Excellence presentations here. So this one here. I'm not really close to done. That looks like Edward. Oh shoot, what is his name here? John Cheever, something about John Cheever, I don't know. This is The Sorrows of Gin, whatever that is from. I have no clue, and it's printed on the back there. Then we have this one here. Not sure what this one here, some sort of tribal photograph there. This one here is another, the tribal eye, so there's that one. Looks like it's a little burnt there because it sat somewhere hot. We've got this one here. This is Richard Backus from something or other, Hemingway on PBS. 13 WNET. Whatever that is. Whatever this is, it looks like the two Mrs. Grenvilles. I don't know what this is. No idea what the two Mrs. Grenvilles is. No idea. We got something from Showtime, so I may not keep that one there. No, that doesn't fit my collection. There's something in the Spotlight. We have Jeff Daniels from Redwood Curtain, so another Redwood Curtain there. Again, these are the things that you would probably throw back on eBay, and maybe 20 years from now you might be able to get $5 to $15 for them. But right now, I don't necessarily. That's probably Ginsburg right there. Justices or women or something, congresswomen, I don't know. Another one of some As a Nightingale Sang. Again, I'll have to look at my camera once in a while because Mark of Excellence presentation, some sort of ballet type thing there. Don't know it for a GM. There's another one of those. No idea. Some celloist. I can't think of Mr. Rostropovich. I ruined that. I'm sorry, but I don't care. Again, I know that guy. His name is yeah, Edward Herman. That's right, Edward Herman. I was thinking Norton, but Herman. We're not anywhere even close done. National Memorial Day concert. There's Colin Powell there. It's PBS of some kind. There's one of the vintage ones I like to see, a 1975, so that goes directly into the binder. There's another one right here, northeast, west, or south or west. This one's got a red bus on it. I don't know what that is here, but I didn't see those in the descriptions. They were not showing the picture. No idea what that is. No idea. So whatever that is, we'll find out at some other future date here. There's some island life there. Another one, probably Harvest of Fire. Again, I don't really know what any of these are, but those will have to go. If I take them to the swap meet, people will tell me to basically get out the paper shredder. If I put them at $1, they were just like, ha, you're funny, dude. But yeah, again, there's some more ITVS things there. I don't know what all that is. Mark of Excellence presentations with Ginger Rogers and stuff like that. So we got that one there. And we've got this one here. I can't even, in my camera, you can't really see the timing there. We're about 8 minutes or something, so I got another 10. There's tons of Edward Herman there, but it was on channel 13, October on channel 13, whatever that is. And some of them have production markings, which I like to see because that means that they were properly used. Evening of Pops, another something on PBS, whatever that is. See it on PBS, I'm guessing. There's that one there. WETA. Is that New York? I cannot remember there. I should know all these things here. Staying Afloat. This is a glossy photograph here. What I mean by glossy, but matte glossy, if that makes Staying Afloat. Larry Hagman and Staying Afloat, whatever that means. Here's another old one. Again, I don't know what that is. Margaret Tizak. Or Cousin Bet. I have no idea. Again, the glare is going to be dreadful here. That's probably Bill Moyers or something. Heritage Conversations with Bill Moyers. It is Bill Moyers. I've got a Nova photograph. I'm not anywhere close to being done. Sorry. I know, apologizing. Here's another one. Mobile Masterpiece Theater. Again, it's going to take me a while. I've already ran out of pages, and these will fill up my binder. That looks like Ted Danson and Mary Steenburgen, so that'll go in my collection, even though it's probably not. Gulliver's Travel, so that's neat. There's a PBS one here of some sort of concert. It looks like Linda Ronstadt. D. Me Padre. Canciones de mi Padre. I have the CD for that, I think. I tried to sell that for $3, brand new factory sealed, and people are like, "Wah!" And the funny thing is it had like some ridiculous $20 Goodwill sticker on the back of it, and I tried to sell it for $3, brand new. Don't know what that is. Again, a lot of these I'm not familiar with, these ones that are, you know, like printed on the back, which is very unusual. I don't see that very often at all. That's one of the first times. Well, Masterpiece Theater, a Rebel in the Rectory. So that one there. If you know any of this stuff here, KCET, that's Los Angeles. So some sort of the Human Quest there. Another Gulliver's Travels, I'm sure of it. WETA. So there's that one. We have an old Anthony Hopkins there. That doesn't even look like that doesn't even look like. I usually have my camera on a different, but that doesn't even look like Anthony. Oh my gosh, Anthony Hopkins. I'm sorry if I've cut off all the pictures, but I'm in Shirley's World, whatever this is. This is the best one here, and this is one of the reasons why I got this, because this is from 321 Contact. It's missing the piece of. No, actually, here it is. Happy Hosts Children's Television Workshop here. I've seen this photograph very, very rarely. I have a copy of it. That's a 321 Contact Hosts. I think the last one I saw, someone was asking more than I paid for the whole box, or the thing, so that's crazy. That's a rare photograph. It's a very valuable and desired photograph there. So I'm glad I have a second copy of that one. That paid for the entire thing. There's a Nova one, so I've got just about every PBS represented here. Alien Empire, whatever this is here. Again, anything that doesn't have anything to do with my collection has probably got to go. I don't know how I'm going to get rid of them or sell them. People just basically don't know what these things are worth. They just tell me that eBay is the evil of all evils. There's two people there, whoever they happen to be. This is another one that's marked, oh yeah, something of Youth and Beauty or something. I have no idea. Cheever Studios, whatever the heck that is, no idea. We have Mobile Masterpiece Theater. Hopefully they're not flying on the ground there, but whatever that is. Paris Scandal, Lindsay Duncan. I think I've got her autograph. She was in Doctor Who. This Old House, so that's neat. I got a This Old House photograph. I couldn't see all these from the description, even though they showed them all. So that's a This Old House. I don't have any. Oops, sorry. That scared me. An old PBS photograph from the 80s or whatever like that, so I don't know what that is. There's, again, more Edward Herman stuff there. So Edward Herman did a lot of stuff. He passed away like 8-10 years ago. Frontline, don't know what's going on with Frontline, but stuff is going on with Frontline. We got, oh good, there's another John Lithgow photograph from Resting Place. Man, somebody was a John Lithgow super collector. More of these purple photographs. We got Suzanne Reed, probably like one of those promotional stills. Yeah, it's her agency photograph, so she sent that out to different agencies. Hey, would you hire me? And there's this one here. I used to get lots of agency photographs, but again, sellers leave eBay all the time. And you've got like great sellers, and then they're gone because, you know. Anyway, here's 13 WNET, so that's in New York, I believe. The 13. There's just a big, huge walrus. We're almost done here. We've got 13 25th anniversary of something. Great performances. So don't know what this is. It's probably Razzle Dazzle 'em. San Francisco Opera. No idea. No clue what that one is. Again, I mainly wanted it for the 321 Contact photograph, whoever that is. Again, that's another one of those Cheever Studios. Oh, Youth and Beauty. I'd have to get rid of all those. None of these people, as far as I know, I haven't found anybody who signs autographs. There's this one here. Looks like something going on there. And, oh yeah, Oh Youth and Beauty. That almost looks like, oh, I can't think of his name right now. It's not, but there's another one, Nomads in the Wind, whatever that is. So it may not be as many photographs as for my collection that I really wanted. This one here is Mrs. Lambert Remembers Love on RHA Entertainment. We've got American Experience. I don't know if we've had any of those yet there. So that's neat there. Whatever that one is. Storytime. I think this is from KCET Los Angeles, because I can't remember the show there. Storytime, and it's got that puppet guy there, so whatever that is. I mean, that was after my time, so I didn't really watch that sort of thing there. That's from like the 90s or so. And the last one were like Breaking the Silence Barrier in the second episode of People in Motion, whatever that is. So it's crazy a lot of photographs there. Again, it's really unusual and probably not very wanted subject matter. But some of them, there was a couple other ones that I really wanted instead of this one, and then it was just going this way and this with it, and I said, you know what, I just have to figure this out. I just got to win something, and I finally did. It just absolutely insanely crazy that was just what it took to do it. But again, if you if you basically set all these photographs separately, and if you're doing them on an eBay setting, again, that PBS photograph of the 321 contact, that might sell eventually. But it's a slow sell at $50. It's probably a very quick sell at $10. You know, so then I would still have to figure out how to make another $30 back. $40. And then again, taking the extra photograph to the swap meet is probably the biggest mistake. I don't deal with a lot of people that know anything about anything. I have to educate everybody. I'm just tired of educating. That's why I started this channel, is I educated people on different subject matters. But what happened was I was educating people and they were not remembering or learning anything. And so then I got kind of tired of that. But that's just what, let's see if I can find that picture there. I don't know. Let's just take a look at a couple of these other ones because I have a few more minutes. Actually, look, I have like 5 or 6 minutes. The Tribal Eye is with David Attenborough, so that's what that is. And again, if you go to eBay and look up this particular photograph or whatever, you might find it, and it's going to be $24.95. I'm not even joking. So if I got like 78 photographs or something like that, and do the homework math at, why don't we do this here? Why don't we do this here? Because I know there's a little, you can see me back there, but why don't we just do this? So, and, you know, some of these sellers don't even have any discounts, but that would be plus shipping. So that's why I think that I was getting outbid high up, because people were buying them for their eBay stores. Because everybody needs more inventory and fresh inventory. So if we do $24.95, let's just do $20. Let's just say each photo, because some of them are 12 and some of them are 13. So let's do 20 times, you know, 78. That's like I could make theoretically $1,500 in the future on this order here if I sold every photograph for $20. But then if I took them to the swap meet, people will like say, I don't know if I want this even for $1. That's the sad truth of it is, you know. But there are these people like me and other people that don't know how to basically put stuff elsewhere. And again, would they sell if I threw them on eBay? That's the question, you know, because it only takes one person to find that photograph. Some people will be looking for any PBS photographs. Some people will be looking for anything Edward Herman, anything, whatever, John Lithgow, you know. But again, with the rising amount of copied photographs and people just printing and making stuff on their own, this was a cheap way to go about it. And there's a big group of people out of Australia that make a bunch of reproduction photographs, and they tell you old photo in the listing, and then they eventually tell you somewhere that this is a new photograph, but barely they even tell you that, and people buy those by the gajillions, and they just basically have source material, or they just copy stuff. You know, they just make a scan of it, and then they just print it out and on whatever photograph media that they have, and then you get that. It's just not good or right. Again, and this particular seller, I think, gets a lot of traction because he says that these are, you know, more or less, you know, whatever generation photographs are from that particular time period, from when they were needed to be used. So these are not like, they might be vintage copies, but they're not modern copies. Let's see if I can find anything else to show you here. But again, this was the Nature Special. Nomads of the Wind is produced by 13 WNET, and I should know, yeah, WNET is in New York there, and that's Easter Island. That's cool how they got him hanging off of this deal here and doing all that fun stuff there. So I don't know, it's just like I said, I don't know anything about mobile excellence of presentations here. I have ran out of pages, and so what I was doing, I had a paper issue earlier today. I will finish off with that here. I was looking for a piece of paper that didn't exist, because I record everything I do through the post office, unless it's just cash, and I just, you know, for my own autograph purposes for stamps. And I couldn't find a piece of paper, and it was done on a UPS label, and oh, that's what happened. So I missed a phone call when I just had to go out and get this package of mail. That's what I was doing. I missed a phone call when that happened. But Mark of Excellence, This is Lionel Hampton, and some of these will be presented in my binder with this in front of it instead of folded over. I'll leave it in my binder such as this, and if I ever needed to, I can go back and look at the rest of it. But the best way to store these things, I will tell you, because I've had these before, these particular glossy type of photographs on this particular paper, I don't know what method they use, but if you leave them out in light too long, I left one out, it damaged my autograph that I had on it, and it also damaged the paper. It turned it orange. It turned it some sort of orangish colors to this particular effect right here. So very, very crazy. But I always say, if you need to point something out to me, something I did wrong, if you want to see something better in the future, I think what I'll do is I will make a second video to this, do it using my new binder that I put these into. So, and sadly, as recently as I put this together, I have to retire this orange binder and get them in a fresh binder, and I have to dig around. But what I was trying to say is that I've got thousands and thousands and thousands of papers. I just recycled a bunch of paper today to no avail. I could just basically heave everything into the bin, and then it's just gonna happen all again. That's why I want to get these in the binders pronto. Again, that's why I'm a binder person. You know, one thing to lose a binder, but it's one thing to lose a piece of paper in a sea of papers. That's not good. Oh, and I'll show you another one here. This is what I did with some of the older photographs here. Again, not knowing what kind of... this is Powerhouse. And again, you'll see my reflection in the background. I really need to get a new monitor here because I need to have one of those non-glare monitors. That's why somebody got rid of it. That's why this was only $5. Goodwill always has monitors, you know, for about the $5 price range, but most of them are broken because people say, oh, darn, my monitor fried, and so they just give them away and then they sell them for $5. Otherwise, it's $30 or $40, and my other thrift stores have been not getting in monitors. The monitors that they have are like 30 years old, so I don't need, you know, a monitor that's 30 years old. But this picture is, we'll finish on this one here. This is Powerhouse, and nobody remembers this. Not one person, not even my brother remembers this show. I remember it. Very catchy theme song, but it was like the Latchkey Kids after school gang, and they were kind of like, you know, they were sort of the Bloodhound gang, but not really. They always had some sort of mystery to solve or something like that. And I think they had a van that they used, you know, a VW bus, and she was the after-school program coordinator, and they were always doing things in community stuff and always making people feel better, you know. And it was not on every PBS station. I think it was out of New York or New Jersey. I've written to this guy here, and he told me that the Powerhouse building is no longer there. Some of the other buildings are, but this particular building was demolished at some point. Michael Wykes is another actor. These three people became, I forget what her name is, and Michael Wykes is another kind of small-time actor there. This guy was in The Practice as one of the lawyers, not one of the main lawyers, but a very prominent one in the series there, and he got axed. But anyway, very cool photograph, and again, I put it in a vintage style frame of the particular day. That's what I like doing. But all of these will go in my binder until I know what to do with them. So there's always something for somebody on eBay, regardless of what you think. Again, 50 cents a piece or 75 cents or whatever it was versus $25 or $30. And normally I would go and show you, it's like, hey, look at the photographs, $24.95. But again, Historic Images is one of the largest people of photographs that do photographs out there, the 8x10s, the 7x9s, and they basically changed their price and everybody followed suit, and that's what they did. And they ruined the formula. They made it unaffordable for us collectors, and I was able to find a seller that had a crazy ton of photographs for a really good price, and I finally won something from this vendor, and thank you for watching.